Write it, Joe will write it.
Hello, what's going on? Welcome to the Cowboys Uncovered. We're back. Hey, another week in the NFL, and this was a crazy one. So we got some upsets around the league, but for our Cowboys, we actually were pretty close with our score prediction here. Joe was the closest, 28-23. He had the Niners winning that, so only off by 2 on the Niners, 1 off on the Cowboys. Pretty good, Joe. Respect. Respect.
I wish I was wrong, but hey, the Cowboys ended up losing 30-24 to the Niners last night. We saw a furious comeback attempt, but let's hop into it, guys.
Yeah, man. If you take a look here, you'll see it was we had a little moment here. If you look in this little peaks and valley, just for about from middle of the second quarter to the end of halftime, we were looking like we had a little bit of a chance, but kind of went downhill from there. I felt like it was a little bit tough to get points in this game. It wasn't really until later in the game where we started to see CeeDee Lamb get more involved, where he did end up blowing up, a little bit. We'll call it blowing up. 17 targets is kind of nasty.
That's a ridiculous amount of targets.
13 receptions there, 146 yards, 2 touchdowns. And I want to be more impressed, but it was a little bit later in the game, and we didn't end up winning. But we'll get into that, obvioui. Not much other help other than Ferguson. So,
yeah, that was the highlight for the Cowboys. So that's who the shot of the week goes to. Guys? So CeeDee Lamb, best performance of the year. 17 targets is crazy. 146, 2 TDs. But let's keep that up for sure.
All right. Hey, cheers. Let's go. Cool. Well,
it's a lot of fun.
Tough spot, but we kind of expected this. Right now, we got the same amount of losses as Niners. So really, it's not technically over, but you see 13th in the NFC, and right now the Lions seem to be running the whole conference, followed by the Vikings, who the Lions beat. After that, it still seems a little bit up in the air. Eagles got a good win for them. You can see some of the games up here at the top. And, they beat the Bengals. Also, Washington ended up getting to, I believe, 6-2 after beating the Bears. So some good performances around the league, but our Cowboys, man, we're kind of in a tough spot here. I mean, we've titled it Blame Game. I'm not, I don't really want to put it on Dak too much, man, but I did think he had some throws where it didn't go our way. He's getting hit while trying to get the ball out. But man, right at the end of the game when, we had a chance to, come back. We got 2 scores, brought it within a touchdown, I believe. And, at the end of the game, we're going to Turpin and we're going to Jalen Brooks' only target in the game was actually the final play of the game. So let's take a look at that final play here.
Dak Prescott, of course, rolling out and then throwing into double coverage.
So
all you needed was 10 yards to extend that drive. I don't know why he was looking down at his, the receiver who was furthest down. CeeDee Lamb was there, seemingly open.
Yeah, I didn't think it really made too much sense. Right before that, I believe he went to Tolbert. So, that was his first target of the game, and you're going to hit Brooks there. It just doesn't make too much sense. Man, Dave, jump in here. How are you feeling about this game?
Well, they were able to put together some first downs and extend drives and get down into the red zone a few times. You look at the way that they put this game plan together. They came out absolutely horrendous first third down attempt to Lupke on 3rd and 5. They handed it to Lupke probably, and it was his only touch of the whole game, I think. And it was for 0 yards. It looked like it was like a schizophrenic type team, not trying to be insensitive, but they have good drives and they had really, really bad drives. And at times the play calling was it's just too many bad play calls in a row, and then you end up with 3rd down and 10, and you're never, you're not going to consistently make that. So I had high hopes that they had put together a slow and steady game plan at the beginning of the game, and it seems like they completely abandoned it for when they started to get behind a little bit. It was tough to watch. Mike McCarthy, you could see that there are strong veterans in this locker room. You got Dak, you got Zach Martin. Unfortunately, some of the leaders are injured right now, and it kind of seemed like they went astray for several drives in a row. It seemed like McCarthy was getting totally out of his rhythm, and then he'd get back in it. They were able to put some things together, but at the end of the day, this is such a huge game for them, and to see that they kind of got bullied a little bit, and it looked like they were a little defeated. I'm not going to say they gave up, because they didn't give up. The guys looked like they had decent attitudes out there, but it looked like they knew they weren't going to win that game.
I think setting the tone was that 3rd and 5 call to Lipke. It's like, okay, you're going to take the ball. You figured you're going to be aggressive, but try to score on the first drive, and then we just go 3 and out. Like that's how you start the game. A handoff to that just made me furious. I don't know about you guys, but
and then Alex, here's another thing that I saw a bunch of was when Dak, and this is just not just this game, but when Dak takes coverage sacks, they happen in 2.5, 3 seconds. So the line's not really giving him a lot of time. But when you see that look on his face of like there's nothing open kind of thing, like, you have to have a better game plan than putting in that kind of position. You have to know it's going to happen. It's been happening all year. There's not enough time up front. There's 2 rookies on the line, and Steele's not playing very great. Martin's at the tail end of his career. Tyler Smith is a good player, but you have to know that other teams around the league, and I said this in our circle of friends, about other teams don't spend all these first-round picks on offensive linemen, and they just make it work. Not to say that they have a great offensive line, but it's part of the game plan. You don't have that, so why would you pretend that you do and put Dak in these hero ball situations where it's just not going to end well? He's not 22 anymore. He's not running for 400 or 500 yards a year anymore. That's so long ago. He's out there like a statue. I saw I think as Kalishaw came out with an article talking about how Dak they brought him in to be immortal, and he just looks immobile, and it's like a stupid play on words. But Kalishaw did when I called him out at training camp. So shout out Kalishaw.
Such a bad interception there.
Yeah,
I will say Dak did not.
Yeah,
Dak didn't play that well. Yeah, he didn't play that well. But the thing is, he always does pretty well in the 2-minute, right? And for some reason, like we don't stick with the hurry up, and I don't know. The offensive line is a huge problem. So why don't you do some rollout plays, so you get him on the run a little bit. He's very good rolling either way and throwing. Let's see more of that.
I think when they're in rhythm, they can have success, and I think we've seen that, especially at the end of halves, like you mentioned, at the end of the game when you're behind. But to go into a game on the road, I don't remember if we won or lost the coin toss, but it's so disappointing to take that first drive,
that pass,
and it happened so many times where they threw three quick incompletions. I think one of the last drives of the game, 4 incompletions in a row, never saw the ball again. I think they had the ball back down 6 with 3 minutes left. They threw 4. Yeah, see if it's hard to watch even if you pull it up. I don't even want to watch it. But
no, you don't need to see that. But you see incomplete, right? Those are 3 and outs, and we had multiple opportunities. And yeah, they did get some of those plays. I didn't show the CeeDee Lamb play, but guys, he was wide open. I don't know why he was wide open on those 2 touchdowns. That was crazy. So those may have been some broken plays. Maybe some guys crashed into each other. Maybe it was a good route. But if we're not getting those, you saw I had showed those 2 other plays of Turpin back to back because one got intercepted, one bounced off his face. But we're going to that play for some reason. But for some reason, the CeeDee Lamb stuff was working. Not sure what that was about.
Yeah, throwing a jump ball to Turpin is not my idea of a great play. Not an idea of like a good throw. Like, forget the play call. It's a bad throw. Like, Dak should know better than that. That's not CD down there.
What did y'all think of the running game?
So Dalvin Cook debut. We didn't even
I
put this
know.
on the show sheet, but absolutely, we've been asking just let's see Dalvin Cook. Let's switch it up. We had a late scratch. Rico Dowdle ends up not playing because of an illness. So we get Zeke in there. Zeke gets the touchdown. As you see there.
But hey, this is what we should be using Zeke for. These goal line type of situations.
You're 100% right. Like, why even force Dowdle to do that? If it or Cook in this spot, So I 100% agree with that, man.
Oh, geez. I forgot about that 66-yard touchdown that got called back. We could have been even worse. But you saw how bad the 49ers wanted this game. There were some scuff ups in the middle of the game. The Cowboys wanted it, but the 49ers were executing, and they were putting it out of reach. So they were the team that, they're down a bunch of good players too. They're down a bunch of good players. I don't know if this team can go forward from here without, I'm already ready for bold predictions. I'm going to make one kind of overarching. Someone's going to lose their job next week. And I don't know if that means Mike McCarthy. I don't know if it means a guy like Terrence Steele. I don't know if there will be people that are not doing their job that they did this week after next week's game.
Brutal.
Steele was so bad last night.
Steele was horrible.
Again.
Rough.
First one that came to mind is Terrence Steele.
Did y'all see how open he was on this one, man?
Yeah, it was and
now I'm gonna go to the next one.
It's awesome.
No, I love it. I love it.
Yeah.
It's just if we're not getting a wide open Lamb,
it's like, can we get one of these on a first drive of the game though?
They got one hand on him.
No,
and now they crashed into each other right
for
there.
Some reason, they crashed. Yeah.
Oh, it was a rub. That's right. It was a rub, and they
look at that.
They got crushed. Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
Ferg probably open too if you drop it over the top. Dax had a really hard time with some of those
hugging
throws,
each other, and Lamb's just burning them. You're right. Either one of them could have got that. Ferg would have got that too, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, National Tight End Day, we didn't see too much love for Ferg. He got his typical targets though.
And on that first interception that was deep on the left side, I think I can remember Dak had some pressure right in his face. And so he couldn't step all the way into it, but he threw it anyway. And he knew he was going to get hit, and he probably knew he wasn't going to be able to follow through, and he threw it anyway. And it was short by about 10, 15 yards, maybe. I don't know. Everyone had to stop. The safety ran up and caught the ball. It's not good. It's not a good product. And the 49ers were just playing kind of that slow, keep it in front of you ball when we were scoring points.
Yeah,
right here. You see.
Let's talk about the defense a little bit now. Guys, the defense actually didn't do terrible, but they gave up a lot of, dumb plays like Purdy, like long runs, and
you're
obviously
right.
that Kittle catch and run was huge, but overall they kept it within range.
Speaking of that Kittle catch and run, I believe that's the Diggs play. If you want to cue that up.
Yep.
Yes, sir.
Let's hear from the defensive leader right now, right?
Yep. Oh, I don't got the volume.
I think that's on mute.
You can't hear it?
No.
Right.
Oh, I can see the. Yeah, I mean.
All right, we'll fix that and get back to it.
But if y'all didn't know, if you didn't know, he's very upset with Mike Leslie, who, for lack of a better word, is kind of a dork-looking dude who is nitpicking on Twitter, which is what they do, and he calls out Diggs and says, "Hey, what's Diggs doing on this play?" Which is I'm gonna put Mike Leslie in the wrong here. I'm also gonna put Diggs in the wrong, but Leslie was trying to nitpick some play that was way to the other side of the field. Diggs, it could have been, maybe if he sprinted his fastest, he could have caught him at the pylon, but it wasn't. He didn't score a touchdown anyway, and it wasn't Diggs' assignment, and so I thought it was like just randomly.
Basically saying you don't know football, you've never played football, that kind of stuff that athletes usually tell reporters. I should know if I've heard it firsthand.
and then he kept dogging on him like, well, you can answer the question now. You can answer the question now. And it's like, all right, what kind of reaction are you looking for here?
Joe, you're in the other room. Just tell me, holler if you can hear this.
Out of that whole play, that's what you took from that? You don't know football. You can't do nothing that I do. You can't go out there and do nothing. Stay in your lane, buddy. Stop playing me, bro.
Just asking a question, Trayvon. I mean, I'm happy to have you answer the question.
Question, out of that whole play, that's what you took for that? That's what you got from that whole play, that's what you got from that?
I'm asking you. We can talk about it more. What were you doing then?
And I especially because I bet you Diggs knows someone else busted their assignment on that play. I bet he knows exactly what happened there.
He was playing safety on that play.
Yeah, and I don't think that Mike Leslie knows anything about anything. I don't really care. I think those kind of interactions from the media you're gonna get a good sound clip anyway out of this game
right after the game.
You know, I mean, you don't have to. I think he made himself look a little petty for that, and I hope maybe it boosts Mike Leslie's mentions for the week. But I don't think anyone else really cares. Good job, Mike.
Yeah. Not too worried about that, man. Defense. I'm hoping we get some reinforcements pretty soon. All right. It seems like next game is a good chance for us to get back. Potentially, who might we get back? Do y'all think
Bland
we get
and Parsons maybe?
So Bland,
Joe, you're muted by the way,
right?
but I don't think. I don't know. I honestly would. I'm not sure I throw him out there on this another game.
Yeah.
Got to fly all the way to the East Coast and come back. I think you wait for that home game after the Falcons game to bring those guys back. But I'm not a doctor.
Yeah,
last episode Holiday Express.
Last episode we said maybe we don't bring him back if we lose this Niners game. Technically, we're still in it. We know how NFL teams are.
But these guys are getting paid, man.
Yeah,
they need to be on the field.
Exactly. So I don't think we're holding guys back too much.
Yeah. Well, let's kind of move things forward here. I mean, let me just say this, okay? The Cowboys started the season 3-4 back in 2018, but they traded for Amari Cooper back then, which sparked the team to a 10-6 record. We won the East, and we even won a playoff game. But there's only 5 active players from that roster on today's team. That's Dak, Zeke, Zach Martin, Jordan Lewis, and CJ Goodwin. So guess what? Amari Cooper is not walking through that locker room likely ever again. So, but where does that leave the Cowboys? Limping into this game against the hot Atlanta Falcons, leaders of the NFC South, coming off a huge road win. Gets a really tough Bucs team, right, guys? I'm sure you guys saw a little bit of that one. That was a crazy game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, this roster and the way that the Falcons are playing, I mean, it's going to take our best shot with the guys that we have left to win this game on the road. So I'm scared of this one playing out pretty much exactly like this 49ers game. We're going to have a chance at the end, but it might only be because of some garbage time touchdowns.
Oof. So Atlanta Falcons, let's do a quick look right here above their logo, 31-26 against their division rival Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And they've been kind of cooking this season. Kirk Cousins, 276 yards, 4 touchdowns, no interceptions. That's almost an 80% completion percentage, 79. Bijan Robinson, Algier, almost equal touch share there. So they've got a little dynamic duo. Kyle Pitts got in action on tight end day. Bijan Robinson as a receiver, 6 for 6. Drake London's 4 of 6. Mooney 5-7. We got a couple of 90-yarders there. So this is, they got some options.
Pretty good offense.
To focus on. Even the guys at the bottom were 100% completion.
Cousins is certainly capable, and if we don't have Parsons, I don't think we need the pass rush so bad because Kirk Cousins is the kind of guy that can escape. It's like we've been playing all these guys that can escape, and it's made the pass rush almost like a liability at times. But against a guy like Kirk Cousins, and I'll go back to maybe a couple years, 2-3 years ago, playing the Vikings. The very first drive of the game, sack fumble Michael Parsons on the first drop back. It's like,
yeah, buddy.
Cousins is the type of guy who's trying to get his job done. He's going to sit back there, go to his 7-step drop and throw. And if you got a guy like Parsons coming off the edge and you're not able to move, I mean, that's a big matchup win for us. But I don't know if he'll be there this week.
Yeah, that would be nice because he can't move like you said. So he would be all over him. Looks like, they've had some close ones. You see a lot of these games are 1-score games, not the Panthers, of course. The Seahawks, when they did lose somewhat recently, but all the games they've won has been by 6 points or less, except for the Panthers game. And we understand that
They beat the
situation.
Eagles and they barely lost to the Chiefs. Like, this is a good football team, guys.
Yeah, it seems sound and well coached.
They have a running game, 2 good running backs. Bijan, we all are familiar with him, coming from the University of Texas.
Oh yeah.
Dynamic pass catcher too. That's something that we really haven't faced too much of this season is a dynamic pass catching running back, which I think is probably going to do some damage against this defense the way it's set up right now.
Anytime you see multiple touchdowns, you know that can definitely be done against the Cowboys too. It's going to be now. Pitts almost was the victim of that old Deshaun Jackson move, where you lose the ball right before you cross the end zone. But they ended up giving it to him, which I don't know. I didn't see the good angle on it, but
they didn't have the right angle to overturn it. That's what it was.
Yeah.
But it looked like he lost that one, taunting right at the end and got swatted out. Good effort play by the other guy. It just didn't go his way.
That was the guy the Cowboys could have had. I think it was what's his name, Junior.
Every show,
Samuel
that's the guy
Jr.?
the Cowboys could have had.
Asante Samuel Jr. Some props. I think that's the right guy. Is that the right guy from the Bucks?
I think you're probably right.
Okay, yeah. I mean, we got some good corners though when they're healthy, so I can't complain. What do y'all think? Do you think the Parsons or Bland are going to play? I know that they put that to bed early in the week, but it sounded like they might have been close at the beginning of the week, on track at least.
I think they're close. Like, if I had to give some sort of a lukewarm take, it would probably be that Micah Parsons and Dwan will be on the field this Sunday against the Falcons. So, hey, this one is. Are we playing in Atlanta?
Yeah,
I want to say we are. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we got a shot, guys.
Yeah, we got a shot. We got a shot. Yeah, we'll see what we can pull off here. I'm feeling like there's definitely still a chance. Like when I was making my pick'ems, I was like, there's still a chance we can beat this team, depending on who gets back healthy. But yeah, it's.
We're kind of counting on coaching here, and we're counting on a guy who looks lost and befuddled every time the camera finds him. I'm not saying Mike McCarthy's going to lose his job, but people are going to have to start getting sacrificed to that altar to keep Mike McCarthy in the job. And I think it's very possible Brian Schottenheimer loses a job. It's very possible, like I said, Terrence Steele loses a job. It's that kind of fervor going around the Cowboys right now, and kind of destruction. So it's again, someone's going to have to be sacrificed for this to keep Mike McCarthy in his role. I don't think Jerry's going to fire him, at least not yet.
Jerry, heaven forbid Jerry makes a midseason move, even if it is firing our head coach. But I mean, come on. So the last time he did, remember we got Amari Cooper, and I just mentioned that we went on a playoff run and won a playoff game. But
you know what, I want to give some props to Zimmer, because they gave up 30 points to a depleted 49ers team. That's not great, but we did put the defense in tough spots. But he came out with a totally different, totally unique game plan, which is something Mike McCarthy could take a note from. He came out with 6 defensive lineman fronts to try to stop this running game, and it worked. It worked. Now Shanahan countered it, and then they kind of ended up going back and forth. I thought Collinsworth made a good point that the game between Shanahan and Zimmer was very close and back and forth for that first two and a half quarters.
Yeah.
And Zimmer's a guy who has had Shanahan's number. I believe he's won the vast majority of their matchups, coaching matchups against each other. So I kind of wish that the game would have stayed slower paced like that. I think it would have benefited us, but started giving up chunk plays all over the place.
Brock Purdy had more rushing yards than the Cowboys did total. So anyway, I failed. I mean, Jordan Mason, second leading rusher in the league, not anymore probably, got injured and came into the game injured. He didn't play most of the game. So, of course, Isaac Guerrero puts up 85 yards and a touchdown on us.
I was worried
We
about
had
this
that.
guy watching his average yards per carry. I didn't know anything else about the guy other than the touches he was having were 5-6 yards a carry. It's like he's probably got some pop to him, and that doesn't
Yes.
bode well for the Cowboys' run defense. And he absolutely took advantage of that defense.
Yeah, he came in as the number 1 most athletic running back in this 2024
Jeez.
draft class. And they
It-
got him
it
in the
showed.
4th round.
It
And,
showed.
Yeah.
you know, it would have been nice if we had a 4th round pick to potentially get a running back.
Whew.
Yeah.
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 I mean, we can
crazy
put
party
we
here.
can put what's his name at running back.
Oh, Brock Purdy. I just did the math. Brock Purdy literally tied the Cowboys in rushing, 56 yards.
Wow. Yeah.
That's
Oof.
only because Dak
Let's go over
Prescott got
here.
a -1. Otherwise, 57.
Oh no. Yeah. I see it here. That's brutal. He really did beat.
That's so bad,
Ouch.
guys.
Ouch.
Stat
Yeah.
of the day.
So let's get into some score predictions. How about
Let's do
that?
it. Let's do it.
I'm gonna go ahead and start off. I've got Atlanta Falcons 30, Cowboys getting 21 here.
Well, let me go opposite changeo on you because I got
All right.
Falcons 31, Cowboys 20. A little slight
Falcons 31,
rearranging
Cowboys 20.
rearranging of those numbers.
Yeah,
All
I'm
right.
gonna go
Put it in the
Falcons.
Discord. Falcons.
I'm gonna go Falcons 31, Cowboys 19. A lot of Aubrey
Falcons.
action.
19. All right.
Not a
Well,
lot of faith in our boys.
no.
I'm sorry.
Falcons.
What
This is a tough
am
stretch.
I
though.
supposed to hang my head on today?
Falcons, they're the division leaders over there. And I wanted to segue just to the division where we got about 10 minutes here. So yeah, right now Washington is our division leader, 6-2. Wow.
Well, let's talk
What a
about how that
crazy
got.
game.
Let's talk about how they got that.
That was a
6th win,
fun
though.
game, man.
I wish I was on talking Washington right now because that was I mean this is a scream, jump up and down, popcorn goes everywhere, chug a beer, champagne bottle popping. We haven't seen a game with that kind of exciting of an ending in a while. That was really entertaining to watch. I'm glad I happened to be tuned in.
Wow. And then the shit talking by the Bears defensive back right to the fans right before. Oh my God! Talk about karma.
Noah Brown with the coming up with the football.
The Noah
man,
Brown,
Noah
ex
Brown.
Cowboys great. Noah Brown.
Of course.
Yeah,
Good for him. That was pretty
Yeah,
cool.
good for
Cool
him.
moment.
dude. Good for him. He's been doing his thing everywhere he's gone so far.
Yeah.
But
Let's leave the
guys,
franchise.
that's Jaden Daniels. And for him, that was a huge matchup. He was coming into the game with rib injuries, and he ends up playing, kind of late notice ish. But for him, it was the battle against the number 1 quarterback drafted in Caleb Williams. So it was that classic number 1 versus number 2 pick showdown, and Jaden Daniels ends up coming out on top. It actually was both quarterbacks' worst performance statistically. However, it was an epic game, one of the funnest games either one of them had been at the NFL level. And Hail Mary right at the end. Jaden Daniels buys 12 seconds of time in the backfield, just running around, waiting until he gets the guys deep enough in the field to just let it loose. And he threw that Hail Mary down the field, got a little tip, and Noah Brown was ready to catch it. So really cool. And that's going to be a tough thing that we got to contend with year in and year out going forward.
I wish we had something like that to talk about and break down, even though that's what
Yeah,
we're doing.
yeah.
We're like,
Hey,
when
go
sorry,
ahead, Dave.
I just wanted to get a little piece
Finish
of
your
this,
thoughts
because
here.
when you had when you make the decision to not rush the quarterback and you only have 3 guys there or whatever the
4
Bears
guys,
front
I think,
was,
but yeah.
and they're clearly not putting the pressure on the quarterback, and the quarterback goes ahead and takes all that time you give him, that's like the worst case scenario, because he's lining it up. He's looking. He didn't have any threat of getting tackled. He had to make a
And
little
then he
move.
launched it
throw.
from like the 35-yard line all the way to
It was pretty.
the whites of the end zone.
Made them pay.
Oh my gosh!
But this
Oh,
guy
wow.
is he's breaking a lot of
Incredible.
records. You see those points forced. This is going to be something to deal with, man. There wasn't too much to talk about in the Eagles game. They actually, for the first time, pretty much in 8 weeks, they got back to the tush push, and Hurts kind of dominated in that fashion. Giants actually play tonight, so we'll see how that goes.
Let's do a little score prediction for that one, guys.
Giants
We'll have
tonight.
to
I've got
Giants Steelers. What do you got?
I'm going 30 for the Steelers, and I'll have Giants at like 17. So 30-17. I think they get a couple touchdowns. Malik Neighbors is 2 games back now. He only has played 1 game since being hurt, and I think now he'll get a couple touchdowns here.
I don't know. I have no idea. I'm going to go 26-17. I'll give it to the Steelers.
I'm going to go 31-13. Steelers, obviously.
Okay.
Anyway, the Giants get a loss tonight. That means the Cowboys will not be at the basement of the NFC East, right? We'll hear reporting that early.
Yeah, at least we have that, you know.
Yeah.
Someone's got to hold down the bottom.
Thank God.
I wouldn't mind having a better pick, though. So, yeah.
True.
That's a little preview there. I think, really, guys, we need a little bit of luck winning some of these division games if we were to pull out come back here. But like you mentioned, it's happened before, so don't give up. All right. They're not going to tank. Hey. It's not going to happen. So we might as well just keep going for it. And we do have some reinforcements on the way. So this team could get a little bit better, even without trades that we kind of wish for.
Well,
hey,
we could
Alex,
trade somebody away.
You got a hot take? Dave got his hot take out of the way. Alex, you got one? Before we wrap up here.
Yeah. So for the Falcons matchup here, I think for here, I think we keep. So this second half of the season last year is when CeeDee Lamb really started cooking. I think the same thing is happening right now with CeeDee Lamb.
Ooh.
So I expect another 2 touchdown performance from CeeDee Lamb, and I think he's about to, really just get started. This is the guy we got to throw to early and often in the game. So
17
2
targets.
2 touchdowns, another 150-yard game for CeeDee Lamb.
All right, dude. I love that.
That's great.
I guess mine is going to be that Dalvin Cook leads the Cowboys in rushing next week and gets a touchdown. He's going to get 50 yards at least and a touchdown, which is huge for any running back from the Cowboys right now. So that's my hot take.
I did my hot take of someone's going to lose their job after this Falcons game. Somebody big.
Who is it? Who is it?
Who will it be? My bold prediction for the game play is I'm going to boldly predict that Parsons will sack fumble Cousins because I had seen him done it before. All right.
Yeah.
If he's out there, it's going to happen. And I'm going to go ahead and call it.
Yeah, I'd love to see him back. So let's make it happen. Let's make it happen.
Bold prediction would be that the Cowboys actually win this game. Okay.
Whoa.
Watch out.
Whoa. Pump your brakes.
Trying to have the stream get shut down. All right, guys. Just for fun, over under 52 points in this game.
Ooh, tonight or the Cowboys?
This game here,
tonight.
Got live odds at 52 over under. Which side are you taking?
I'll go under.
Total points scored in the game, both teams combined.
I don't think I don't think the Steelers will score
under.
that many. So
no, this is Cowboys Falcons.
I'm gonna go over. I think it's very possible the Falcons run away with this one.
Yeah,
it's also possible. It could be. Hopefully, maybe it's a shootout. So when we get like 60 plus points,
Yeah, I don't think any of us had it within this 2.5 points. So sponsors, come holler at us. But I
got one more for you. How about this one? We got the Yanks Dodgers tonight in New York.
Oh, I'm going the Yankees get their first win.
The Yankees going to win their first home game.
Yeah. Series wise, I got a 4-2. So get your picks.
Shohei's a little banged up.
Yeah, that's right. I had him as MVP. I don't know how that's going to go now.
If you get Betson, Ohtani, and Freeman, I think their top 3 is better than the Yankees' top 3. Means 3 MVPs. And I like to see them come together. Those are all good guys. I don't really care about the Yankees. Also, Rangers are still the champs until someone else is crowned. All right,
that's true. Let's wear that gear,
that's
Dave.
Right. That's right. Dallas, stand up. We appreciate you guys.
All right,
jumping in with us. This is the Cowboys Uncovered. We got Big D at Cowboys Fan David. We got at Joe Garcia 73, Sports Guy Joe, and I'm at Dynasty F Key. Alex here, and again, appreciate you guys tapping in with us. We're looking forward to the next game, no matter what. I'm excited. All right, let's keep it hype.
Go Cowboys.
Score some touchdowns, boys.
Yeah,
yes, sir. All right, y'all. Let's get it. Peace.
Write it, Joel. Write it.